Hey everyone, this is Dr. Fran. I hope that you guys are doing well. Today I want to give you guys a 101 on self-publishing. I've been doing self-publishing since 2019 and I just started it by accident. I was part of a team to publish a book. It was a book collaboration with about five of us. And the person who was actually supposed to publish this book, it just so happened that they end up not being able to do the project due to the amount of workload they had at that time. We were pretty much like halfway through the book, and I said, you know what? I can do this. And so I took to doing a lot of reading. I took to YouTube. I took a lot of trial and error. And we were able to publish the book. The book was successful, which is taking care of our mental health from a Christian perspective. That was the first book I did. And since then, I've done other books along with low content book, a lot of low content books I do, in addition to the few others that I've done. And since then, I've been asked a lot of questions. How do you do it? Is it an easy process? The 101 questions. I've also published books for other authors, whether it's just editing or doing book covers. I've done all of those different things. So today I'm putting together a 101 for self-publishing for those of you who are interested in learning more or also putting out your first book. Low content book is pretty much an easy way to make side income, right? I know as social workers we have a lot of different side incomes that we do. So it's a quick way to make to do a side hustle. You can use low content books such as journal planners if you want to do a group. If you want to do something within your church, it can be something that you use for self-care exercises. There's so many things that you can do. The most popular platform that people use is KDP. There are others, Barnes and Nobles, Lulu, Ingram Sparks. There's so many others, but for the most part, people use KDP for publishing. So today I'm going to go over low content books, all right? Because that's usually the first type of books that people put out when they're on their journey towards publishing. My first book was not a low content book. Like I said earlier, it was a book collaboration with about five persons. But the first book that most persons put out is low content book. So what is a low content book? Low content book is more than likely journals, like aligned journals, a prayer journals. It can be a devotional, it can be a reflection notebook, a gratitude notebook, planners, devotional workbooks. So all of those books are low content books. It can be with guided prompts or it can just be with lines. And if it looks like I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading notes. I want to make sure I get all of all the right information to give to you. So low content because the content is low. There's not too much words that goes into it. All right. So if you're thinking about putting out a low content book, the first thing you need to do is clarify your purpose. What is your purpose, right? What is your purpose for putting out this book? Who is the population that you want to target? Like, for example, who is the journal for? Who's the planner for? What struggles are they navigating? Are they navigating depression? Are they navigating anxiety? Like for me, my niche is mental wellness. People, when they think of me, when they think of Fran, they think of mental wellness. Everything that Fran do is for sustaining mental wellness and mental health, and then integrating faith, right? So I do mental wellness and integrating your faith. So that's my niche, right? It can also be what spiritual or emotional person things the person wants to address. What outcome are you hoping to achieve when you put out that journal or when you put out that plan? Okay, if it's faith-based, like mine's, like my journals are faith-based, It can be towards strengthening the person's prayer life. It can be building practice. It can be integrating what they learn on Sunday and integrating that throughout the week. It can be a healing journal. It can be a healing journal. It can be gratitude. So these are all different niches that you would want to think about before you actually put out your first planner or your first journal, your first low content book. Think about your purpose because your purpose is going to drive your positioning, right? So think about your purpose when you're thinking about putting out your low content book. And as I mentioned, your niche, okay? Your niche can be mental health, your niche can be faith-based, your niche can be mental wellness, it can be teen girls, it can be black men, black women, anything along that lines is your niche. Now, if you're going to publish on KDP, right? KDP has a lot of templates. The templates are already there for you. So all you have to do is download them. The most popular templates in KDP is the 6 by 9, the 7 by 10, and then the 8 by 5. So the 6 by 9, people use that standard for regular books. The 7 by 10 and also the 8 by 5, people will use those for journals. Okay, planners, because it's bigger, journals, planners, coloring books, people will use the larger size templates. You want to think about your margin, right? You want to think about your margin. You want to think about the bleed if you need to do bleed on your books, if you're using colors. If you are just starting out, I recommend just keeping it simple. Keeping it simple. In the meanwhile, you can utilize different platforms such as Canva. You can use the free Canva, they give you templates, or you can use the paid Canva. Of course, if you want the real fancy design with templates, you have to go for the paid Canva. But for starting out, I recommend using the free Canva. Okay, you want to think about how many pages. How many pages do you want your book to be? Now, for Amazon KDP, if you're doing a standard book, it has to be 70-page minimum. 70 pages minimum to upload. Think about your page, the number of pages also in terms of your author's copy because the more your pages, the more your author's copy will be. Like with my books, I try to keep them a minimum of 100 pages. Some of my books I have 120, 130, but for the most part I keep it at 100 pages. All right. You want to keep it clean. You don't want too much clutter. You don't want people's eyes to go all over the place. You want it structured, you want it focused. If it's anxiety, it must be anxiety focused throughout the book. So not on page one, you're talking about anxiety, page two, you're talking about depression, three, you're talking about happiness. Keep it structured. If you're going to incorporate all of those things, incorporate them under the heading of anxiety, if that is your niche. Okay. Your cover design. Cover design is a big thing because that's the first thing that people are going to see. They're going to see your cover before they see the interior of your book. So you want your cover to be something that is popping. All right. Something that's going to grab your attention. Colors usually grab people's attention. The wording is going to grab people's attention. So, if you can do your cover, you can also use Canva to do your cover as well. If not, there's a lot of people that actually design cover. I design covers. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me. I can work with your budget and design a cover for you. But like I said, being that you're starting out, start out free. Don't try to spend money, spend a lot of money that is initially. So use Canva or any other platform that you choose to use the free stuff And then once you start making a little bit, passive income, this is all about passive income, then you can actually go and hire people to do other stuff, right? So now comes to the uploading. And the uploading process, you already designed your book, you got a nice cover and everything, and you want to upload onto KDP. You have to create a KDP account. All right. It's a free process. It's a free process to create a KDP account. Now, if you have an Amazon account, you can go right under that and create your KDP account. If not, you can just go to kdp.com and create an account. Okay, now when you're creating the account, it's gonna ask for your title. It's gonna ask for a subtitle. You may or may not have a subtitle. It's going to ask for a description. Again, when people read your book, they must get, what is this book about? What am I going to get from this book? Okay, so that's going to be in your description. You want to put the keywords. Okay, if I'm searching for devotionals for Black women, right? So the keywords must link directly to the book. What type of keywords? What is it? Your niche, all of that goes into your keywords. Okay, the category. What category does your book fall under? Now be careful with category. I know some people kind of play around with categories just to get their book to pop in the number one seller. Although it's not within the category, they do that. You have to be careful. I don't do that because if when KDP finds out, a lot of times your account can actually get closed off for that. So I put my books in the right category. If it's gonna sell, it's gonna sell. If it's not gonna sell, it's not going to sell. Okay, so after your category, then it's going to ask you to upload. You're going to upload your interior, right? The interior of your book. You select the right size, whether it's a 6 by 9, an 8 by 5. You're going to select the right size. You're going to upload your PDF. Next, you can do two options with the cover. They can help you. It says create a cover, right? So KDP can help you create a cover with a picture that you upload, or you can create your cover that you already designed on Canva and you download that. You can upload it there. Okay, so when you upload, next step is to review. You're going to click review. Oh, before that, it's going to ask you, did you use any type of AI? It's going to ask you if you use ChatGPT, if you use Canva, anything, just put it in there. Just put it. Be honest. Whatever you use, just put that system in there. Once you do that, it's going to ask for you to review. You click the button that says review. Sometimes review is fast, and sometimes you can be sitting there for a good 15 minutes and that button is just spinning and spinning and spinning. And then it might prompt you, hey, go get a cup of coffee. This is taking longer than, it's kind of hilarious. So the previewer is gonna take a minute. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Especially if it's your first time, sometimes it takes a minute. Once that's preview, it's gonna show you if there's any errors. It's gonna show you that your content is supposed to be within a red box, within the lines of that red box. If it's outside, it's gonna show you error messages. So if you get that error message, you want to go back to the edit, go back to Canva, edit whatever based on the error messages that you're seeing. Next, let's say you preview, everything looks right, and you're moving to the next step. You want to set your pricing. Okay. You want to be at least at market price, but you don't want to be too much under or too much over. Okay, so you want to be at least at market price where you can make some kind of money. Because the thing is, when they publish your book and they print, they're charging you for printing price, they're charging you all that stuff. So when they finish, take out their money, you're probably left with like $3, $4. Okay, so you want to price it at a price where you can actually make something. Okay, let's see what else. Yeah, it says so it gives you the standard price. So a standard price for a book page is 120 pages or more can be like $6.99 to $12.99. So let's say your book is 100 to 120 pages, 6.99 to 12.99. I tend to take between I stick between 10.99, 12.99, something along those lines. Now, after you click publishing, your book is going to take about 24 to 48 hours where KDP is going to check to make sure everything is okay. Um, Most times they kick it back at least once or twice, telling you to fix some type of error. All you do, you just fix the error and then you go back to the same process of uploading again. When all of that is finished, you will get an email saying your book is published. Congratulations, and yay, you are a publisher and author and all of those good stuff. So, I hope this video is helpful in terms of walking you through the process of publishing your first low content book. It can be fun. And then every time you actually publish something, you became better. You become better at it. There's so many different systems to navigate, so many different systems to navigate. And even on Canva in itself, there's so many systems. So I'm not going to go and mention that to confuse you, especially if you're a new starter. Um, but what I would recommend is like play around with the system, play around, read it, watch a lot of videos, um, and get familiar with it, and that will help you out a lot. Okay, but if you're gonna start out with a low content book, start out with a journal, start out with a planner, start out with a notebook, and that's going to help you. If you want to start out and you don't know what to do and you're looking for pages, I do sell the pages for notebooks, so you can use my pages or you can use my covers. If you're interested in any of that, you let me know, click the link below, and you can purchase that. Okay, so looking forward to seeing you on the shelf. Take care and be well.